Hello everyone, myself Professor Hardik Patel. Today in this video lecture of power amplifier part 3, we will complete the rest of the uh, content. But before that, let's see, let's quickly recall what we have discussed in part 1 and part 2. So in part 1 we have discussed about amplifier terms, classification of amplifier, small signal and large signal terms. Right. Then in part 2 we have discussed about DC load line and AC load line, right? How to plot these load lines and how to find out maximum peak and maximum peak to peak output voltage without distortion, right? So all these topics we have discussed earlier in previous two videos. So now let's see um, class A operation. So in class A operation, here it is a C amplifier circuit. Right, in class A operation, position of Q point is at the center of load line. So for given position of means Q point, if we apply input signal with respect to this Q point, then there would be distortion less output, peak to peak output. Right, means there is no clipping of output signal. Right, means both the cycles are completely amplified by amplifier without distortion. Right, so class A. So now for any amplifier, means whether it's class A, class B, class AB, class C, right? So actually there are certain measuring parameters, and these parameters are going to decide which amplifier is better, right? So here for class A amplifier and for rest of the possible amplifiers, these parameters will be helpful for selection, means for which power amplifier is better, right? So for that there are certain measuring parameters. So let's see these parameters. So for any amplifier, especially for class A amplifier, first parameter is power gain. So power gain is, it is a similar to voltage gain. In voltage gain, output voltage upon input voltage, but here it is power gain, but it is AC power gain. So it is denoted by AP, and it is output power upon input power. Now which power, AC or DC? So AC. So power gain is nothing but ratio of AC output power to the AC input power. So here P out and P in are AC powers, right? So here output power, so output power is denoted by P out is equal to Vrms square divided by RL, right? Because we represent AC signal in terms of RMS, but on CRO or on paper we are representing peak to peak value, right? In peak to peak form of signal we can measure the its value. So here relation of Vrms and peak to peak is shown here. V peak to peak is equal to 2 root 2 into Vrms, right? So Vrms square is equal to what? V peak to peak square upon 2 root 2 whole square. Clear? So it is nothing but here V peak to peak is nothing but what? Output voltage, peak to peak output voltage. So it is now represented by P out is equal to V out square upon 8 RL, right? Because here there is square 2 root 2 square, so 4 into 2 8, so that's why here it is V out square upon 8 into RL. Now V out square or say V out is what? Maximum peak to peak, right? It is peak to peak variation. So here in this chapter, V out is represented as maximum peak to peak, right? One peak to another peak, positive peak to negative peak, so it covers entire cycle, right? So P out max is equal to maximum peak to peak square divided by 8 RL. So using this equation we can find out maximum output power. Now see transistor power dissipation. So when there is no any signal given as an input, means in absence of input signal, the power dissipated by device is given by PdQ is equal to VCQ into ICQ. Now you know what is VCQ and ICQ, right? If you know about Q point, so Q point gives you idea about VCQ and ICQ, and reverse also, right? VCQ ICQ will give you idea of Q point. So in absence of AC input signal, maximum power dissipated by device means transistor is given by this one, right? But when signal is present, means when we have provided AC input signal, then what happens? This power dissipation would reduce because transistor converts some of this DC power into AC power, right? For this reason, the quiescent power means DC power dissipation is worst case, right? In absence of input signal, power dissipated by transistor or device is worst case power dissipation, and hence the power rating of a transistor used in class A amplifier must be greater than PDQ, right? Suppose PDQ is equal to 5 watt, PDQ is equal to 5 watt, means power dissipated by device is 5 watt, right? So you have to select transistor used in class A amplifier having power dissipation capacity greater than 5 watt. Otherwise what happens? Transistor will be destroyed, right? If PDQ is 5 watt, and if transistor being used in design is having power dissipation capacity only 4 watt or 3 watt, then because of this high power dissipation capacity the device may destroy, right? So always we need to take care of this PDQ and actual power rating of transistor being used in amplifier design. Then current drain. So as we have considered this circuit, here it is VCC, and this VCC cause some current flowing into two branches. One is bias current flowing through voltage divider circuit, and one is the quiescent current or collector current, right? So addition of these two currents is known as IDC, and it is known as current drain, right? So current drain is nothing but the the DC current provided by or supplied by DC voltage source to amplifier, that is known as DC current or current drain. And this current drain has two components: biasing current through voltage divider and collector current through transistor. It means IDC is equal to current flowing through R1 R2 and collector current IC, right? Now next important parameter is efficiency, eta. So eta is equal to ratio of AC output power to the DC input power, means P out upon PDC into 100%. Normally efficiency is represented in terms of percentage. So here it is the ratio of AC power upon DC power, right? Output quantity AC, input quantity DC. Now this DC power is actually supplied by DC source, as we are using VCC. So VCC is providing some current, and multiplication of this VCC and current provided by supply IDC or current drain, so multiplication of VCC and IDC is known as DC power. So PDC is actually input power to amplifier, right? And this input power, DC input power, is actually being converted into AC, right, to boost the energy of weak signal. Now this, what is the significance of efficiency? So efficiency actually indicates how well an amplifier converts the DC input power to AC output power, right? If higher the efficiency, then the better that amplifier is at converting DC power to AC power. Right? Means efficiency is higher, that means that power amplifier is better in converting the DC power into AC power, right? So this way efficiency can be treated. So now let's see for example. So if the peak to peak output voltage is 18 volt, output voltage is given peak to peak 18 volt, and the input impedance of base is given Z in base 100 ohms, what is the power gain for below circuit? what is the transistor power dissipation and efficiency. So different parameters we have to find out. The circuit is given, input voltage is given, circuit values are given, right? VCC is given, peak to peak output voltage is given, Z in base is also given. So first let us find out Z in stage, because we need to find out input power, right? AC input power, because we have to find out power gain, output power upon input power, AC output power upon AC input power, right? So to find out AC input power, we must know about input impedance, right? So it is nothing but Z in stage. So R1 parallel R2 parallel Z in stage, Z in base. So that will give you some value. So input power is equal to what? Here Rm means peak to peak value is given. So V in square upon 8 into RL. So that will give you Pin. Similarly, AC output power, right? Peak to peak is given, right? So 18 square means V out square upon 8 RL. So it is here, RL is given, right? So we can find out P out, and ratio of this P out upon P in will give you a power gain. So 1683 is the power gain of this circuit. Now for same circuit, what is the power efficiency? Power dissipation and efficiency. Power dissipation means PdQ is equal to VCQ into ICQ. But that means we have to find out, we have to repeat the procedure of finding the Q point. So see, to find out PdQ, we have to find out VCQ, ICQ. So how to find out VCQ and ICQ? Let's see. So VB voltage across R2, right? 3.7. So VB minus 0.7. So IE VE upon RE. So we'll get 150 milliampere. So it is approximately ICQ. So ICQ is equal to 150 milli. Right. Now what is VCQ? VCQ is equal to VC minus VE. So VC VC we can find out, and VE we have found out. So we can find out VCQ. So VCQ is equal to this much. Now to find out efficiency, efficiency is equal to what? Eta is equal to P out upon PDC. So PDC, how can we find out PDC? So PDC is equal to VCC into IDC. VCC we know. IDC is equal to what? I bias into ICQ. So what is I bias? I bias is nothing but what? VCC upon R1 plus R2. So that will give you I bias. ICQ we got here, right? So this way we can find out PDC, right? And this output power we have calculated here. Output power we have calculated here. So now substitute into this equation. So it will give you figure 3.68 percentage, right? So here for this given circuit, given parameters, eta is equal to 3.68 percentage, means out of 100 watt only 3.68 watt power is being used in converting the boosting the signal, right? So here it is very small efficiency. Higher the efficiency, better is the amplifier in converting DC power into AC power, right? So maximum efficiency in class A is 50 percentage, right? Maximum. For resistor fed it is 25 percentage, for transformer fed it is 50 percentage. Now same exercise can be done for common collector or emitter follower circuits, right? So same way emitter follower or common collector can be used as a class A amplifier. So that I am giving you self study, right? Thank you.